Oladega o. Ọmọ àgbò yìí lé o. Ọmọ mi dúdú tí sọ̀pá kọ́rin kése. Ọmọ ọlọ́fin aṣọ́lẹ̀ṣà.
Lẹ́ni mo rí ìbà fọ́lọ́hun ọba ìbà ọlọ́fin ìṣọlẹ̀ṣà àkẹ́sán lẹ́rí ọmọ ọlọ́kọ̀ tó ní ìṣẹ́rí àkẹ́sán ọlọ́fin ìṣọlẹ̀ṣà ẹ̀ àbáńkọ́ṣẹ́ wà ń lé kí ni gbé o ògbèrè ẹ̀yọ́ ògbèrè akí yóò ẹ̀ ó ga ju kábíyèsí bàbá àwọn ilé tẹ ṣé Ògún nìkan ni ok
ọkọ̀ ajẹ́ ọ ti pé yẹn sínú museum already.
Okay.
So mo mọ̀ pé àwọn ọmọ Àwórì púpọ̀ wọn mọ̀ pé adé Ọlọ́fin adé Ìṣẹ̀mbáyé ó yìí wà níbí báyìí. Ẹ mọ̀ pé gbogbo wa Ilé Ifẹ̀ láti wá adé Àrè la mọ̀. But it is time àwọn èèyàn mi wọ́n gbé sí under lock and key. Wọ́n fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn lọ máa imitate.
Ancestral lock and keys tó ti wà tipẹ́.
Yes. So wọ́n fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn lọ máa imitate so wọ́n gbé tọ́jú. But nígbà tí màá gbadé ìsémadé yẹn ni mo lò. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé for almost 2 weeks mi ò gbádùn ọrùn mi. It was so heavy. So we'll be putting it in the museum up there so that àwọn èèyàn wa lè máa wò. And ẹ má gbàgbé àwọn ọmọ tó wà ní school ní LASU Unilag tó bá ń ṣe GNS 101. So tó bá wọ́n máa ń sọ fún wọn nípa history and setting up of Lagos. I know the way it is written there is that the first inhabitants of Lagos were Aworis who came from a village 12 miles down the river Ogun. So most times these students come to visit us and there's barely all of these things for us to show them. So now we are going to bring everything together and put them in the museum for these students. When they come, we can show them. And for other visitors who want to learn about the Awori culture. So this is, when they come to this place, the cradle, they can always see it. And it's going to be a very interesting thing for you.
Kabishi, I think for now, I think it's not a coincidence anyway to me because over the time, in the last few years, there's already this controversy about Lagos is no man's land, and for every time that's erupted on air or probably on internet, you always see reference from the Ooni of Ife referencing the fact that one of his grandson, great grandson, OLOFIN OGUNFUNMINIRE actually established first settlers in Lagos. So I guess it's going to be a very vital tool at the time where you're going to have students that will come and tell this is where the Isheri, the OGUNFUNMINIRE is. And I guess, if we can just start doing that at this level, at least. So even if someone is trying to twist your brain, you would have thought like, oh, when I was in year 1, I visited that place. And this is actually the origin of Awori race as far as OLOFIN is concerned.
Mo rántí ìgbà tí a fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ reconstruction of the palace. People suggested we moving into a better location and environment, but I was adamant. Ní pé ìtàn àwọn Àwórì ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú odò Ògùn, because wọ́n tó bá máa kì wá ní ọmọ káfọ́pá káfàjẹ̀wà káfọ́gèdègèdè ọwọ́ wa kọ̀ délé Isheri. So if we relocate the palace, then we'll be losing one part of our history. That's that river. Tẹ́ bá jáde ńsìn yẹn máa rí odò yẹn exactly lẹ́yìn palace, because nígbà táwọn bàbá yẹn gúnkè ibi tó tẹ̀dó sí ni ààfin yẹn, if you go outside you see the old palace there, and it's still the way it is. Amọ̀ ló fi ṣe.
1425.
Yeah, amọ̀ ló fi ṣe. It's still there and we've preserved it up to now. And then iye ọba tó sùn síbẹ̀, up till present we have a large number of obas that are there, So we didn't touch it, but we're going to preserve it as a relic for the future. So, nítorí ẹ̀ mo ṣe ní ibi báyìí o, no matter the expansion, no matter àfikún àfin tá a bá máa ṣe, a máa bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ ni. Mo dẹ̀ rántí mo bá wọn ọmọ kábíyèsí Olúbíyì sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn ilé wọn ló wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ palace and we're able to relocate them. And they gave us the chance. So now we have a bigger palace. So, when these students come, we can always take them to the river and show them that this is the river where their port sank that gave us the name Aworis. This is the river. You can see it. The actual point is still under the care of Baba Abogun. We call him Abogun. Edombo Odogun. So he's still there. The man is over 90 years old now, and people will get to see him when they come for excursion. There's a lot to see in Isheri. So, and we'll be preserving it for our future generations.
Yes, I guess in one of the history, I want to confirm that the river was actually was the name that was carved for Ogun State. The Ogun State was actually from OGUNFUNMINIRE River, which is Ogun State. And I guess this is the house of OGUNFUNMINIRE, which also emphasized that that river is the river Ogun that they've talked so much about in history.
You know, our history has not changed. It's still the same. And we've never tampered with it. It has always been like that from time immemorial. Our progenitor, OLOFIN OGUNFUNMINIRE, was the one who was asked to make medicinal propitations, put it on the river, and follow it, just like he and his people did. So the river, they flowed all the way through Shaki, Abeokuta, present day Abeokuta. There was nothing like all of those places at that time till it sank here. So I just told you that the point it sank is still being not taken care of by Baba Bogun. So that action, the sinking of the port, is what is called AWORI. AWORI. So it's what gave us the name, because our neighbors at that time was the Ijebus. So they were the ones that were actually calling us AWORIs. And that action gave the name Odo Ogunfunminire, because I don't forget when they left, passed through Shaki at that time, and Odo Ogunfunminire, you know, everybody named it after the Ogunfunminire. And that was where the river got its name from. Ogun River, shortened to Odogun River, and it has remained like that. And the state too got its name from the same river.
Okay, that means that this was dispersed areas when it came in. Do they actually all stay here, or some left, some moved, or some continued their journey?
Yes, you know, just like John B. Losi wrote, this was the dispersal point. It was from here they moved to Agboyi. It was from here they moved to Igbesa. It was from here they moved to Iro. It was from here they moved to Ota and other Awori towns like that. That is our history, and you know, that is what binds us as Aworis. You know, there must be no tribe that don't have a unifying factor. Isheri is the cradle, or let me just say the dispersal point for all our worries. It was from here Ogunfunminire himself moved to Ido, where Ajayi gave birth to the Dejos. And that's why we are worries. You know, we have that connection to each other. So, and all I'm trying to do here at this time is to preserve all of this history. That is the job I have now, and that is what I'm trying to do.
Okay, yes. Based on history, I heard that when you were trying to facilitate the road, Isheri roads, there were a lot of demolitions that has to do with connections and reconnection of some urbans in Lagos and Ogun, because they felt that most of their families houses are here. I guess, how do you reconcile that, obviously?
I remember when I came on board, everybody during my coronation. Àsìkò Ọba Sulaimona ọmọ Àṣetítì Isheri, wọ́n wó lé mi, you know. So people were already scared, you know. It created a lot of tension. But I knew as an engineer that before I could bring any kind of development to the town, that access road must first be reconstructed. So we had series of meetings. We pleaded with all the families involved. Moranti, Osolo, the late Osolo, Oba Agbabiaka of blessed memory. He came, he led Kabiesi, Onigonwu of Gonwu. He led Lambe Ojokoro and Oniro. About 5 of them came to my palace. Okay, Olofin, we heard you want to reconstruct this road, and our family house is going to be affected. Kí ló fẹ́ ṣe fún wa? O mọ̀ pé orí ìrun wa ni ẹ àná. So we came to a conclusion that we're going to give them somewhere else, just about a couple of meters from that actual place to relocate them to. Because there's nothing we have to do. We have to bring development to the town. And we all agreed and we moved. So so a whole lot of houses were demolished. But in all honesty, there was no witch hunting, there was nothing. Eventually, after demolishing the house, Osolo came back. The late Osolo came back with Oniro, Obalambe Ojokoro, Baba Gon. I'm forgetting, there was one more Oba. They all came to me that, okay, Kabisi, wole wansing, because, orí irun àwọn ọba yẹn àti bíbá yẹn ni. I can count àwọn ọba tó ní Alágùdà of Aguda. If you across the palace, Kábíyèsí àgbà òsì ibẹ̀ ní orí irun wọn. I can point their houses for you. So I told them, because we cannot throw a family as large or as important as you out of the town. So this is where we want to give you, like we agreed the last time, and I ordered that Oloja 8,000 blocks Coffee Bearer Foundation.
Okay, can we thank all the families that has willingly, donated, lands for the purpose of this project. I mean, the roads, the new palace, the museum. I guess you can look at the camera and thank all the families.
First and foremost, this project, I wouldn't have done it without the OLOFIN royal family. Apart from them installing me or giving me the chance to be 20th OLOFIN of Isheri, they stood by me. Even throughout all of the crisis, because when we constructed the road, we had issues with a case in court. And up to today, they are still in court. A family is still in court. The Olubiyi ruling house under the OLOFIN, we relocated them to somewhere better because I constructed a new family house for them, and they are there now. Basically, the Olubiyi family, let me just mention their name. So, and we had so many families too that were affected by the reconstruction of the road. And like you said, I don't want to mention names. We have so many of them. So even my own family too was affected with the reconstruction of the road. So gbogbo wọn pátá la máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn fún àdúrótì. Then a máa sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ìlú, gbogbo wọn lọ rí lọ́dẹ̀ dúró tì wá pé nǹkan tá à ń ṣe yìí fún ìdàgbàsókè ìlú wa ni. It is long overdue, but there was no courage to do it. But now that gbogbo wa dẹ̀ panupọ̀ pé nǹkan tó yẹ ká ṣe àsìkò ẹ̀ ti tó. So mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn ẹbí yẹn, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ìlú fún àdúrótì. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, nǹkan mèremère tá fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ ìjọba máa wọnú ìlú yìí wá.
Yorùbá sọ pé ajá ò kì í rorò kó ṣojúlé méjì. But for OLOFIN, yeah, in terms of boundary adjustment, you are in Ogun State. There's a part of Isheri that's also in Lagos State. How do you balance those two? You are in Ogun, you have ancestral, details, lands, in Lagos, and administratively in Ogun. How do you balance it? How do you manage it?
Tebari Mileko, because my mother is from the Akitoye ruling house in Lagos. I was born and bred on the island, Bangbushe to be precise. Tebadi Bekenembe officer. So they know me all around there. So my father is from Isheri, my mother is from Lagos Island. That's one. But number two, from time immemorial, Isheri extended as far as Agboyi. Isheri extended as far as Ogba from here. Both. So when the colonial masters decided to define the boundaries between the Lagos and the Egba colony, due to politics, they had to put the OLOFIN of Isheri because there will be conflicting interests in Lagos, So 80% of the Isheri OLOFIN land was left in Lagos colony. That's Lagos State as of now. Only 20% of our land is in Ogun State. But we were so lucky that our forefathers had a lot of litigations with people encroaching on their land in Lagos. So that's why we have so many judgments. 1905 in Koshofe, 1925 in Mile 12, in 1896 in Ogba Ashade, you know. So those are those things that have given us some kind of lightweight. So that's why you see that some of those land in Lagos, we still exercise our rights over it, over those lands.
And many Olofin children are also on those lands.
Yes, and we have so many of our children that have gone there to go and take over and exercise these rights, because taba file àwọn àjòjì àgbà tán wọn lọ́wọ́ ó tiẹ̀ ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ a fi àwọn ọmọ wa tó dẹ̀ ń dúró ń pé irọ́ eléyìí ilẹ̀ Àwórì ni tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ìkọ̀ọ̀kan náà ni mo yẹ sọ ìkọ̀ọ̀kan náà ni Isheri àtàgbò yìí, so àwọn arágbò yìí ń bá mójútó ti àgbò yìí adẹ̀dúpẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run gbé wọn lékè àwọn ọ̀tá wọn, so no, it's all good, we thank God for it.
All right, so Kabisi, you choose a legacy that will tell a story after you must have left. You know, we don't want you to go at least another 100 years to your reign anyway. You should have chosen a personal, you could have your personal building raised to like 5 building story. Why the stress of the, you know, community palace, you know, you have to invest so much in this?
You know, whatever we do, we have to bear in mind that the best legacy we can leave behind are those things that people will continue to remember us with. And don't forget that I'm a civil engineer. And as a civil engineer, the only kind of progress I know is construction, seeing physical projects, you know. Those are what I know as progress and achievements. So that's why my first year, we constructed the Palace Road. My second year, we constructed, we renovated the Primary Healthcare Center and the palace, the old palace. My third year, we constructed the new secondary school, the new community hall, facilitated by the senior special assistant to the president, Excellency
Adejoke
Adefulere. And the road too was facilitated by Honorable Ibrahim, so I have to mention him too. But I constructed the Isheri High Court because, you know, our people had to travel. By my fourth year, I constructed the Isheri High Court because my people had to travel as far as Ota, Ifo, Itori to attend court cases. And, you know, it's more or less like India, their rights to justice. So that's why I had to do that kind of thing. I approached the Chief Judge of the state for approval, which he gave to us, and we are grateful to her for that. So my fourth year too, we commissioned the Isheri Primary Care Center too, which was done by the First Lady of Ogun State, Mrs. Her Excellency Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, alongside with the SSA to the President, Princess Adejoke Adefulere. And this is my 5th year. So, you know, that last year, after doing that one, we sat down and we're like, what are we going to do again? It's better we come up and reconstruct the palace. And this was done under 15 months. It's not even 15 months. We started March. This place was demolished March last year. And this is June. So it's barely
15 months. 14 months now.
Yes. So that is the kind of progress I know. I'm actually constructing a link road to the express directly, which I'll be naming after my father as soon as I'm done. So I will be naming it Prince Shewa Abiodun Drive. So there's so much to do, and that's the kind of thing I know as progress.
Kabisi, it's been a fantastic experience. I've not visited you since my appointment as the SSA to the governor of Lagos. I remember I was there when Baja appointed me as the SA political matter in Southwest. That's at the night assembly. And yes, I'm a broadcaster. I'm a cultural ambassador. I'm an AWORI ambassador. I always look back to my roots. I always want to identify with my people, and most especially when I see that things have better ways, best handled by a visionary leader. And I consider you as our own. Every American has Luther King, Luther Martin Kings, and all that. So Martin Luther King, beg your pardon. I guess you are also part of our own. We can also lay claim to what you meant was a crash, and you are building a legacy that will always be remembered so many years after now. Thank you very much, Kabisi. I'm highly honored. I guess you give me permission to also, see all those, Motiri, Ogun mi, méjèèjì, Tede àti ti ẹja. Ẹja ọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀, wọ́n máa ń wọnú ẹ̀ gan. Ọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀, ìgbà míì kí ni máa ń wọnú ẹ̀ náà, lórúkọ òkodó kékèké máa ń wọnú ẹ̀ náà gbà yẹn. Máa wọnú ẹ̀, kóró máa ń wọnú ẹ̀. Ẹ ṣé Kábíyèsí Aláìlúwà.
Ọmọ Oladega, ẹ
Ṣé
ṣé
bàbá,
o.
a máa
Ilé
lọ wo.
nílé yín o, you can have a tour.
Yes.
Just go around and see what's happening.
Ẹ ṣé Kábíyèsí.